I felt like something was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. It was people all around me, and I was just standing there. And then all of a sudden, somebody was helping this elderly woman put her bag on the corner, and two suitcases. So he rolled it and put them like right beside me. And she said for him to move it over. So the bus stop was right there. I didn't realize that was a bus stop. So the lady greeted me, hello, and I said hello. And then I was kind of drawn into her energy. And the next thing you know, we're talking. And I said, where are you going? And she said she was going to the train. And I'm like, okay, she was taking the bus to the train station. I said, where do you live? She says, on the train. So she says, let's go inside a restaurant and maybe we could have something to drink. I'll have a ginger ale and whatever you want. We'll just have something to drink until the bus comes. And so she said we could be watching the traffic to see when the bus pulls up. So I said, okay, let's go inside. I realized that this woman, after she left me, that she would be going to sleep on the train. And here I was going to sleep in a nice, warm hotel room. So I became convicted at that moment. And so I spent my time trying to get her a room in the hotel. Don't bother her. So she knew there were only like 2 stations that she could go to, 2 train station stops that she could freshen up herself without any problem. Now, this woman was 63 years old. She had showed me her driver's license, and I saw her name and I saw her birth year, and I was like, wow, she's 63 years old and she's sleeping outside. Now, we just got into the warm weather, but you're talking about bitter cold. So I asked her about her past. She said she really didn't have enough time to go into it, but she said that there were different people that she had met along life's path that has helped her. There was another woman who took her in for a few days and let her shower up and wash her hair. There was another woman who just like a week ago had saw her on that same corner and prayed over her and gave her $20. And I felt like, oh my God. So the woman had sat down with me and she went in her bag and she took out this big Bible. And she said there was a point where someone had stole this Bible from her while she was sleeping on the train. And she was like, oh my God, I don't have my Bible anymore. I don't know where my Bible is. And she says, out of nowhere, the Bible reappeared, like the person gave it back. But she said they wanted my Bible. They didn't want anything else but my Bible. So I had booked her a room in the hotel I was staying in. And then all of a sudden, when I was going to get a little cash from the ATM machine, I found out that they called me on the phone and they said, I'm sorry, ma'am, did you just book a room, another room in our hotel? And I said, yes. And they said, I'm sorry, but that was an error. We don't have any more rooms available for the night. I'm like, really? So why did they take all my information? And I felt really bad because I had to go back to the woman and tell her I don't have a room. But then I said they canceled the room. But then after I said, let's call another hotel. She was like, God bless you. Like, I love you. Like, who? And then she just started praying. And she kept telling me, like, God's got something in store for me. And I was just kind of like, okay, thank you for the blessing. I believe that. I believe that. Because just earlier that day, I remembered my life. And I remembered there was a time when I lived abroad and I ran out of money and I was married. And I had not even enough money to buy me a bottle of water. And I was with my ex, yes. my ex, and he wouldn't even buy me a bottle of water. And I knew that I was in a very bad situation because I had no money, I had no means to get it, and my ex was being so cruel to me. But God told me, speak to that woman. She waves at you in the morning when you drop your daughter off to school, and she seems to be really friendly. She will always say, like, hello, darling, morning, morning, have a blessed day. And she would go about, but something told me, God told me, to speak to that woman and tell her how you feel. Give her your phone number. What happened? I went in my pocket and I went up to the lady. She was in her car, and I said, I want to leave my husband. And she says, me too, girl. And she started laughing. But she called me. And I said, here I was, a person who always had her own, who could always take care of herself, right? I didn't have to depend on anybody in my life. And this was the first time that I put 100% dependency into a person. And see, you guys got to be very careful about who you trust and putting 100% dependency on anyone, because that's a very dangerous thing. And it doesn't always turn out right. Now, some people have very loving spouses who provide for them, and they don't care what they do with their money. They don't care if they go and put it in a bank account or something like that. But I was not in that situation. But God told me to trust this stranger. And I said, and then a little bit of people that I knew and met along my life's path helped me get out of that situation by sending me money to get me a plane ticket to get out of that situation. But had I not known people, had I not opened up, because this same woman who I told her I wanted to leave, she was the one who gave me a bed for 2 days, 2 or 3 days until I left the country. So I think about how easy it is for somebody to become homeless. So sometimes you look at people on the street, you define them by the way they look. You're like, oh, look at her, look at him, he's all dirty. You don't know what happened to them before they became like that. You don't know their story. They all have a story. They have a story. And a lot of us are one step away from being in that situation. Shower. But I woke up in the morning with a heavy heart because I was thinking, okay, it's raining today. It's cold. Where's she going after 2:30? But I feel like anybody who hears this video, who's in the Atlanta metro area, who rides the MARTA train, who sees this woman, she's got a red knit hat tucked, like kind of like she has it turned over, but a little bit, not all the way over. She's a little brown skinned woman, not very dark, glasses, stout. She I don't remember if she had on a skirt or pants because I didn't look her up and down like some people say up and down. I didn't do that. She's in her early 60s. She's pretty stout. She's about 5'1" or so. Very pleasant, well-spoken. She can speak well. Her name is Denise Heath, Heath. Pray that somebody hears this because she doesn't even have a phone. But she wrote my number down on a piece of paper. She has phone numbers written down on a piece of paper. And so I don't know why she is out there. She says that her church has helped her a few times. I'm not sure what's going on with her life. Her mega church that she belongs to is New Birth in Lithonia with Pastor Jamal. She said she was going to church today. Today is April 20th, 21st. So she said she was going to church today. I don't know how she was going to do that with her suitcases and be able to get back to the hotel on time, to collect her garments and whatever. But the woman, that worked, Miss Bell, that was on, I guess she was like a manager of the hotel. She was very kind, and she was reassuring me that she had her, like, I got her. I got her. She's gonna eat well. She's gonna be in a warm king suite. She was reassuring me with a warmth in her voice that she was going to take care of this elder. And she asked me what was her relationship to me, and I said she's my auntie. And she says, okay, well, your auntie has been rude to me before when I told her to leave the hotel. And I apologized. I said, I'm sorry, my auntie has been rude to you and in the past. But now I believe she's going to be even happier after she gets some food and she gets a warm bed and a hot shower. So some people just want just excitement of being able to take a shower. She was just like, I'm gonna take a shower. God bless you. You're such an angel. Oh my God. So yeah, there are people in this world that are kind. And if we all understand that, we can be kind to people throughout the world. There are many Mrs. Heaths. Um, Whether you go, I knew another woman, I think I forgot what her name was, maybe Jewel or something like that. She goes to feed people in Atlanta, downtown, that sleep under the bridge. She talked about there was a man who was, had had some drinks, and he came up to her while she was, I think, sleeping outside, and he came up to her and he offered her, he was like, I'm going to give you this card. I had this card on me and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with this card. And so I'm going to give it to you, but it's not for you. It's for you to share. It was a $50 Best Buy card. It's an electronics store. He had a $50 card, gift card, and it's for electronics. It's like, what is she going to do with that? So she said she went up to some police officers and told them about this $50 card. And if they wanted to take it because this man gave it to her, told her it's not for her. Well, those police officers gave her $50 and they never took the card. So there are people out here that are kind, that are good, that are willing to help you. There's a lot of people, despite what people say, there are people out here who are willing to help people in need. So as I described the woman, as I told you her name, she's 63 years old. Her name is Denise Heath, and she's riding the subway trains. She's left her at the American Hotel on Ted Turner Road in Atlanta. That's today. She will be checking out at 2:30 and it's 1 o'clock, 2:30 p.m. today. They extended her stay instead of telling her to check out at 11 o'clock as a courtesy, because they realize this woman doesn't need somewhere to stay. And I think they doubt that she's my auntie, but it don't matter to me. I just wanted her to be able to get checked in to the hotel, because as I was enjoying a warm bed and a hot shower, I wanted the same for her. Go help. I don't want to know that this woman is going to go leave that hotel and end up right back outside on the street. I know there's enough of us who can help this woman. And I just felt compelled to send this message. There are people around the world and people in America that are in need, that are all around us. There is no shortage of people that you can help. There is always someone whose lives you can make better with just a little bit. Every mickle make a muckle, which means every little bit counts. All right, so that's what I wanted to share today. there's something else I want to share, and I'll come back in my next video and share more with you. Peace and love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.